Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Aaron here again with another Gunpla review, and this time we're reviewing one of my favorite Gundams of all time. This right here is the Gundam Astraea from Gundam 00P, which is a Gundam 00 side stories, which is only in manga form, which I'm really kind of hating that we never got an anime, because they're really great. We really should get one. Bandai should really get onto that, because it's really great side stories. It's always Gundam side stories that are really usually better than the main stories. This right here is the second generation general purpose mobile suit from Team Celestial Being. Basically, Gundam Astraea right here is the prototype testbed, or the testbed prototype for almost all the weaponry and systems that you see throughout the entirety of Gundam 00. Mainly for the weaponry, because the Gundam Astraea is basically the testbed for a lot of them. It tests out a lot of the weaponry. We're going to see that was one of the weaponry I'm going to show for its accessories. Uh, and basically just the predecessor to the Gundam Exia, which I know a lot of people love. But for me personally, the Gundam Astraea technically has the place in my heart, and well, more the F type, just because the F type's the red one with all the bells and whistles. But with that out of the way, let's dive right in with everything the Gundam Astraea comes with. And we're back, and this right here is everything the Gundam Astraea comes with. Starting off, let's go with the base Gundam Astraea right here, looking pretty nicely designed. This is actually one of the reasons why Gundam Astraea is kind of my preferred machine. I do love the way the Astraea looks. It is aesthetically pleasing. I really do love the design for it. Like, no offense to the Gundam Exia, I do love the Exia too, but what's it called? Just the Gundam Astraea just has this finesse that I do love it, and the Type F technically brings it out a little bit more. Though I will say this probably mostly because of the red. But overall, the Gundam Astraea was a pretty nicely designed machine, and overall looking pretty great. Now let's go with the weaponry. Going from its prominent weapon right here, the GN Proto Sword right here. This is the prototype weaponry before we get the GN Sword. This right here actually just attaches to the Gundam Astraea and just basically just Proto Sword that just launches up to it. And it has a little handle here, so it grab on the hand, so it'll be able to hold it off and be able to attack with no problem at all. All pretty nice. And it's probably pretty good looking right here. Going from the Proto GN Sword, we have the GN Shield for the Gundam Astraea, which is a little bit more different from the Exia Shield that's being all no. As the X Shield is a little more pointier, it's more kind of basic, more squared, as it is more of a general purpose type, whereas the Exia is more close quarters melee. Then we have the GN Rifle here, which attaches onto the Exia's forearm right here, because it's got the little peg right here that attaches onto it right here. Well, pretty nice and basic, as always, when it comes to these weaponry right here. A little bit gray and whatnot. I can do a little bit of painting. Now, you're probably going to be wondering why this is painted in red instead of just the gray stuff. Well, I was trying to find my Gundam Astraea's version of the GN launcher right here. Could not, for the life of me, find it. I don't know where it's at. Like, eventually I'm going to do a video of the amount of parts that I do have when it comes to, like, my Gunpla collection. But trying to find this Astraea's GN launcher was a pain. I found the other two GN launchers, or three GN launchers that I do have of my other Gundam Astraeas. But those are either painted or for my RG Gundam Astraea, which I do have. But overall, this is the GN launcher that comes with. Usually it's in the gray color, as you can see with the GN launcher right here. The only reason why it's painted is because I painted it because it's for my other Type F version, because I was doing some paint work for it, because I was going to do a customized version of that. Which I was not finished before that. You can see right here is only one coat of painting. But this right here attaches to the clavicles right here, which on the clavicles right here, you can detach right here. And you can, just one second, because sometimes these are a little bit stuck in. I'm going to be honest, I really haven't detached any of my Gundam Astraea stuff for like a long time. So right here, you have the clavicle piece right there. That attaches onto the shoulder right here, and boom. Now the Gundam Astraea is able to launch the GN launcher with no problem at all. And that right there is ready to launch with no problem at all. But that is not for this Astraea, as you can see the color-wise, but I had I need a GN launcher, and this is the only one available, so I do apologize for the color scheme, because that was going to be for another of my custom 00 units I was working on, which I never got around onto, because stuff always happens and whatnot with these. Then we have the GM Beam Saber hilts right here that attach onto the backside of the Gundam Astraea. As you can see right here, the difference between the Exia and the Astraea, for those who want to know, is that unlike the Exia where the Beam Sabers are usually on down, the Astraea actually holds them on the side right here. If we ever get this thing working out, there we go. It's got to be careful because I've had incidents with another previous Gundam Astraea where I actually broke that off, which annoyed me because the repair work for that was kind of annoying. But attaches right there, so I can grab from the hand right there. So in case it needs backup, just goes there. Attaches, bends, attaches it, plucks it off, puts it on his hand, and then it's ready for attack. So no problem at all. And it has 2 of those. And then, like I said, GM beam sabers, which I did find the beam sabers for this because I'm going to be honest, all the Gundam 001s are basically the same. So they would find the beam sabers for these because remember my box, I'm pretty sure a while ago I showed you guys my 2 boxes of beam sabers that I have a mount of. So it comes with 2 of those. And then last but not least, it comes with 1 extra open left hand right here for some of the poses attack, mainly because the Proto Gens were supposed to be on the left side of the hand instead of the right side, but I've swapped it over. So for those who want to know, what's it called? And then last but not least, because you can actually convert this, Gundam Astraea has the tri-prong GN drive, but it also comes with the cone shape one too. So, and also it's different backpack too. So basically, you can just swap this out and attach this right here. Actually, right there. And you can actually swap this out for the, you can swap out the tri-prong one for the cone one. But lore-wise, the reason why they never did that or they had to swap back out to the tri-prong one was because it wasn't working well with it. They eventually did fix it because we do see that with the 3rd gens, that they fixed that problem later down the line. But overall, that is everything that the Gundam Astraea comes with. Pretty good amount of stuff. I will say the Type F does comes with a lot more, because it is meant for all-around attack, which I will do a review of my Type F, because I did buy another Type F for that reason, because I need more parts. And that Type F does come with a whole lot more stuff, but the Gundam Astraea comes with a pretty decent amount of stuff, which is pretty great. I'm also pretty sure, and it's my fault, but I'm pretty also sure, because I'm now remembering this also comes with extra Exia parts. So not only do you get the extra base Astraea parts, but you also do get some of the base Exia stuff, because I'm pretty sure that you also get an extra Exia GN shield, GN sword, and 2 blades. I don't know where those are at. I just remember that because I'm pretty sure, because usually the Gundam Astraea does come with basically leftover Exia parts. So technically you can kind of convert this to Gundam Exia because it does have also extra V-Fence and whatnot too. Don't know where those are at. I'm just remembering that right now off the top of my head. So it does come with a little bit extra more stuff, so it's not that bad too, because it also comes with some of the extra leftover parts, because this is technically used Gundam Exia just with swapped out head, shoulders, waist, and everything else. Now, with out of the way, let's go with the articulation of the Gundam Astraea. And we're back. Now let's go with the articulation of my Gundam Astraea. Going off, first on the head right here. It's able to spin around, just got to be careful because these clavicles, let's do a little bit, the clavicles are kind of in the way, so we're going to do a little bit of a removal of the clavicles. It's not, you technically do need the clavicles, but what's it called? They're kind of in the way, but you can spin the head, no problem at all. Almost all Gundam heads. The only thing I will say, for you have the, the Gundam Astraea's head ear came off, that's fine. What's it called? Put that back right there. There we go, no problem at all. I will say, what's it called, the clavicles tend to be sometimes in the way, especially when we're trying to do head movement, like side to side. But overall, head's able to move 360, no problem at all. Bob and weave, no problem at all. That's pretty great. Now we go with the Gundam Astraea's arm. It's able to lift all the way there. I am a little bit sorry because my Gundam Astraea is technically very stiff because I really don't bring it out too much. It's actually still kind of brand new. So it's very stiff, but overall, arm able to go all the way, no problem at all. All the way down, just gotta make sure I don't break this because the thing is super stiff. Which is, I guess, is a good thing too, because the thing isn't too heavily played. It's able to spin around, no problem at all. Arm, able to go all the way there. But this is on a single joint right there, as this is technically still an old kit. Kind of wish Bandai would revive it, but I do have the real grade, so I'm really not too that much disappointed. Plus, also the high grades still technically do hold up still. Hand right here, able to spin around, no problem at all. See right there, spinning hand, bob and weave, spin around. Going for the chest, Technically speaking, this thing can only spin. Sadly, Gundam Astraea does not have an ab joint, sadly. I mean, it can wiggle around a little bit if you want. But what's it called? No ab joint. This is, like I said before, an older kit, so before the advent of ab joints for a lot of Gunpla. And then for the legs right here, the front skirts can actually move up and down, so no problem at all. The leg able to go all the way up, all the way to the back, kind of. It's once again blocked by the back skirt. It's able to go. That's all the way. That's as much as it's able to do splits. Like I said before, Gundam Astraea, like Exia, and the rest of the 3rd gen kits, still older kits, so they're on ball joints. I have made my progress in modifying these by replacing the ball joints with stick joints, but that's a modification. I might do a video on that later down the line. Leg joint right there. It's able to bend all the way, because technically speaking, it does technically have a double leg joint, because it has a joint right here, which is another one right there, with the leg right there. So it's able to bend pretty nice. Not all the way, but it's able to bend pretty well. Do apologize again for the stiffness. This thing really has not have any movement at all. And then the feet right here is on a ball joint, so free range movement, so no problem at all. Pretty great. And then the little front armor skirt for the kneecap here can move. Overall, articulation isn't bad. It's still technically an older kit. There's still some limitations for this, as it is a older model kit, but it's still able to do still a decent amount of free range of movement despite being a very old kit. And overall, pretty great kit. Now let's actually do some size comparisons. And we're back, and let's do some size comparisons. First things first, to the Gunpla. I was actually going to do a review beforehand, but I decided to do that later. My Gundam Porten right here, which I am going to do a review on this later down this week. Overall, same size. These Gundam, like I said, these Gundam model kits are around usually 5 inches, so it's not that bad at all. Like 4.5 to 5 inches, so it's usually generally. And right here we have my EO frame. My EO frame sheet, which I'm actually going to do a review of too, but I'm currently having trouble because I'm trying to find its right shield, but for some reason I cannot. And overall size comparison, it's pretty same size as well. Going from general same size machines to technically something a little bit larger, we have my Sinanju Stein, which I'm also going to do what's called a review of this later down the line, because I eventually found all of its parts. For some reason I've been having problems finding the shields of all my Gunpla. For some reason they've all been disappearing, which has actually kind of been annoying me, but also it's kind of scared me too. It was like, I'm losing the shields, and that's kind of scary because most Gunpla kind of require shields for their kits and whatnot. Going from the Sinanju Stein, we have the 00 Quanta Command. This is right here, is from the Gundam Battle Log, which is also a pretty great model kit. So if you actually do see the Command Quanta, I do recommend it. It's a pretty great model kit, and I was going to do a custom version of that. Never got around to it. I'm going from, because I do have a bunch of Exias around next to me, going from Quanta Command to the amazing Exia right here. This is as close as the regular Exias we're going to get. Because I no longer have a regular Exia at the moment. Oh, mine is the RG, but the RG is technically red. And also customized too, because I kind of customized that one to the redevise, which I'll show you eventually. Because I'm pretty sure I did a little bit. Going from the amazing Exia to the Exia Dark Matter, who is the red and black version of the Gundam Amazing Exia, and another variant of the Exia family, which is also pretty nice. And then going from the Exias to the Astraeas, because I have a lot of them, we go with the Type F, which is the predecessor of it too. So technically speaking, my Type F is kind of like in between configuration, because it has some GN swords and Exia variants. That's also because I was doing some stuff for custom for this, which I kind of did stop myself from. Going from the high grade Type F to the real grade Type F, which you can see right there, the real grade right there versus the high grade. I will say, for those who are looking at the real grade and like, oh hey, look at this GN pistols. The GN pistols belong to the high grade. My disappointment when I built the real grade is that it does not come with the GN pistols, and I kind of annoyed me a bit. It's like I paid premium because it is premium Bandai, and it did not come with most of the stuff you would expect the high grade to have. Which shame on you, Bandai. Shame on you, because that is my one gripe. It is a real grade and premium Bandai, and you take everything the high grade has. That kind of why I say sometimes to say the high grade Astraea type is kind of a little bit more better than the real grade, only for its weaponry. And then last but not least, the main star for the channel, my Gundam Astraea custom, or technically Gundam Astraea Scarlet. And overall, the base Gundam Astraea is basically just as average size for most Gunpla right here, but still pretty nice, and still looks pretty great, especially on your shelvings. Now let's go with final thoughts. Alright folks, let's wrap this review up with some final thoughts for the high-grade Gundam Astraea from Gundam OOP side source. And overall, the Gundam Astraea is an impressive model kit and offers a lot for its value, for its price. The build quality is excellent, parts fitting together seamlessly is no problem at all, and minimal to no painting required for this model kit. The articulation is pretty great, despite the fact that this is actually an old kit. Its articulation and posability is actually pretty great. Pretty good despite its limitations on some of the joints for it. Despite this is an old kit, but it's still actually pretty good. It's able to do a pretty amount of good poses. Despite that, detailing work is actually pretty great. You can actually see with my panel line. You see right here, where the panel line is. The detail work for this thing is actually pretty good. Which actually, compared to a lot of other model kits, they really do not have this kind of amount of detail work for it. Well, maybe some of the new modern higher ones, but some of the other ones kind of don't have this kind of detail work, unlike the Gundam Astraea has. Accessories is also pretty great too. This thing actually comes with a good amount. You get the sword, GN Proto Sword, you get GN Rifle, GN Shield, Beam Sabers, GN Launcher, the two Beam Blade effect parts, extra hand, two GN drives, plus the extra Exia parts as well that comes with, like the GN Sword from the Exia's GN Shield, the two short and long blades from the Gundam Exia, an overall pretty great amount of weaponry that comes with, so it's not that bad at all. Overall, the color separation of this is pretty great, and straight out of the box, the kit just looks fantastic. Overall, the build quality for this is actually pretty great. It's actually not that hard at all. Everything comes in together pretty fine, and it's and whether or not you're receiving a seasoned builder or someone that's starting out, this kit offers a pretty good builder experience for anybody building this, and overall, pretty great model kit. Especially another model kit for your collection, for your Gunpla collection. There, especially if you're a Gundam 00 fan, this right here is really needed for your collection, for especially if you're a 00 fan. Overall, the Gundam Astraea is probably one of the great model kits that I love, and my bias tree actually does come with it. Overall, still a great kit, and I would recommend it for anybody coming into building this, or if you see it on the shelves, it's actually a pretty good model kit. But with that out of the way, thank you for anybody watching. If you enjoyed the review, don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Gunpla content from me. And as always, this is I, Power, signing out, and I'll see you guys on the next one.